Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago. It's being described as a breakthrough for Trinidad and Tobago's agricultural sector, more specifically TNT's fine flavor cocoa. On Tuesday, the government officially unveiled the Trinitario Cocoa Certification trademark, a formal, internationally recognized mark designed to protect and promote TNT's signature cocoa variety, guaranteed quality, and potentially unlock premium prices for local farmers. You could imagine that starts to be exported on a large scale, because from what I heard, we have one of the best qualities in the entire world. Trinidad's cocoa industry thrived as the dominant economic engine between 1866 and 1920, shifting from a sugar-based economy to become a top 3 world producer by 1830, driven by French Creoles and smallholder cultivation. The industry peaked in 1921, but declined due to witches' broom disease, the Great Depression, and the rising oil sector labor competition before the 1970s boom. The wealth generated built the Magnificent Seven mansions in Port of Spain, signaling the immense prosperity of the Cocoa Paniol era. The cocoa rehabilitation scheme was launched in the 1940s to introduce disease-resistant varieties and boost production, but it was suspended in 1967 due to poor returns and competition for labor from the growing oil industry. I've always heard my parents and grandparents say that. And when Trinidad when the oil boom took place in Trinidad, everyone basically left the cocoa estates and went to work in the energy industry. Not literally everybody, but that's what we're saying. Basically, there was no more focus on the cocoa industry anymore. And therefore, that's why basically Trinidad just became dependent on the energy industry, and now it's the backbone of our economy. I'm not saying not to have it as the backbone, but we need to diversify, and therefore we need to invest much more in the agricultural sector. Revive the cocoa industry, and it seems as though that's the direction the government is heading. Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Senator Eli Zakor, has expressed his ministry's concern over the increasing use of mobile phones and windscreen-mounted devices for video calls, recording, and live streaming while driving. Everything they're always concerned about now. My response? This is yet another policy which will be implemented in order to generate revenue for the government, courtesy of Rowley's twin, Empress Kamala. The government said that in preparation for the upcoming carnival season, they have been working closely with the country's regional corporations and other stakeholders. These efforts are aimed at keeping carnival venues clean, as well as maintaining beaches and other popular sites frequented by those not participating in festivities. You know, a lot of individuals who love to end up going camping and stuff like that. I used to go church camp and stuff when I was younger. One of the ministers said they were working to ensure that the program continues to be results-driven, focusing on providing decent wages and ensuring tangible, measurable work.
The Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government continues to strengthen its efforts to serve communities nationwide. Minister Khadija Amin revealed more about a new initiative in Trinidad and Tobago aimed at directly employing workers for the maintenance of public spaces.
Cabinet agreed that we will draw down on that money because this project creates employment. It adds to the capacity of the regional corporations to maintain public spaces, which may have been done by other entities before. Corporations have a legal responsibility when it comes to public spaces and public facilities like recreation grounds and so on.
The minister said that in preparation for the upcoming carnival season, she has been working closely with the country's regional corporations and other stakeholders. These efforts are aimed at keeping carnival venues clean, as well as maintaining beaches and other popular sites frequented by those not participating in the festivities.
I met with every single corporation. We went through their plan. In fact, some of them, when they asked for certain resources, based on my knowledge of the type of activities they had. We increased the number of employees that they requested to accommodate, for instance, the camping that they didn't take into consideration or other activities they were not aware of. So I met with every single corporation and we put those things in place, and their workers have now been assigned to the corporation for them to administrate and manage.
The minister said that they are working to ensure that the program continues to be results-driven, focusing on providing decent wages and ensuring tangible, measurable work.
Minister responsible for housing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Andrew John, in his contribution to the debate on the 2026 budget estimates, acknowledged that there are numerous issues with the housing sector that the government is seeking to address. John noted that he has heard the concerns raised by members of the opposition regarding an increase in the allocation to continuing the housing program. Minister John explained that although the allocation has been reduced, the decision was based on figures provided by the previous administration on the number of houses they claimed to have repaired.
They claimed that they had fixed 5,034 homes, and I'll break it down for you just now. Don't want to go look for no notes yet, but I'll find it for you. Only to realize when we started visiting and doing assessment that numbers do lie, because nothing that you said was done there was done on inspection. Nothing on a part of that. And you come in here arguing about who do this and who do that. We are here at the budget now trying to raise more money to continue the program of budget of burial, fixing of burial. I will circulate this to you when you finish. Seems to me that they want to give people the impression that a government that just got an overwhelming mandate to come into government here, to come and serve our people, are going to just callously dismiss our people like what they did. Now, I don't know if they remember me, but I was part of the delegation that went to the government asking them, please, not to dismiss workers of this country. I worked as a union leader at the time, 2021. And we begged, we cajoled, we asked that we consider the plight. And what Minister said earlier, as touching as it was, Minister King, I personally experienced a lot of that. When they fired, they dismissed 500 plus workers. And they come in here to argue for people who they temporarily did themselves. No, knowingly. Going to give people the impression.
The St. Lucia government says it gave no permission to the American multinational transportation company Uber to begin operations in the country. I don't even know why we allow that here in Trinidad. I think we still have that here. The official went on to say, I want to make it very clear that contrary to what you've been hearing, reading from various sources, that the government of St. Lucia has not in any way approved, sanctioned, or encouraged Uber to operate any service in St. Lucia. Tourism Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire told reporters. And basically, Uber does that all over the world. They just go, they set up, and then start to operate without actually getting any sort of actual permission. Remember, we had that same issue in Trinidad as well years ago. As I said before, I don't use it, so I don't know. But I do believe we still have that service here. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining in Jamaica has announced a specialized support program designed to revitalize the yam sector following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa on October 28th last year. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green provided details during a recent press conference held at the ministry's head office in Hope Gardens in Andrew. And I hope and pray that all the leaders throughout the Caribbean continue to try to assist Jamaica in rebuilding, be your brother's keeper. The rest of the world only focusing on Gaza. Let us focus on our own people here, please. The Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana on Thursday relaunched the Tourism Development Fund, a voluntary industry-led initiative that allows visitors to make a small optional contribution during their stay or experience in Guyana. The fund was first launched in 2015 as a mechanism to support sector-wide development. The Iwo Kramer International Center for Rainforest Conservation and Development has confirmed that Iwo Kramer River Lodge has retained its Good Travel Seal certification following a recent assessment under the Good Travel Experience framework developed by the Good Travel Alliance. All of this will be in promotion of tourism there in Guyana. The Ministry of Education will soon begin implementing a biometric attendance system in some schools to accurately record the arrival and departure time of teachers. Yes, not just the students, they are the whole accountable. The teachers as well. The system is aimed at strengthening accountability at public learning institutions. Minister of Education Sonia Parag made the announcement during a recent televised interview, noting that the new initiative would ensure quality teaching and better outcomes for students. Because even here in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of the times, students are in classrooms and they don't have any teacher because the teacher is not attending school. And usually it's only the students that need to give a reason why. Now for the interesting facts segment, getting outside within the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking up might be the most effective biohack for your mental and physical health. Recent research confirms that exposure to bright daytime light is a critical driver for cognitive performance, improving sustained attention and increasing reaction speeds by nearly 10%. It's also very refreshing, people. So go outside on a morning, take in that fresh air and get some sunlight. When natural light enters your eyes shortly after waking, it acts as a master switch for your body's internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm, triggering a powerful biological cascade. Closing off now with a travel segment, County Kerry, famously known as the Kingdom, is a premier Irish tourist destination in the southwest, celebrated for its rugged, dramatic landscapes along the wild Atlantic Way. It features iconic attractions like the Ring of Kerry Scenic Drive, Killarney National Park, and the UNESCO site of Skellig Michael. With charming towns like Dingle and Kenmare, rich Irish culture, and breathtaking coastline, it is ideal for outdoor adventure and cultural tourism. Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news headlines. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe, most of all. In Jesus' name.